Hi, everybody in Research Methods. I was just thinking after making that last recording that this factorial design thing is probably confusing and worthy of one more example, so I picked one that we use for the in-person classes. You lose something when you teach online, and that's the human interaction, and this is one thing that I would have people do with each other in class is an example. So you will see in this example, this is Dr. Wilson. He's an industrial psychologist. This is all made up, and he is doing a study on male versus female. That sounds like an independent t-test. No, it gets more complicated than that. What about their work schedule? They work for a place where their sales are tabulated and are important. So he puts them into 3 groups, but really 6 groups, because there's male and female and 3 possible scenarios. So we would call this a 2 by 3. That's not a very good 2, is it? ANOVA, analysis of variance. 2 by 3. There are 2 genders by 3 different working conditions. 6 possible groups of people. 6 total groups of people, I should say. So, group 1, they get complete freedom over their hours. Gee, you work for a place that's open 12, 14 hours a day? Complete freedom. You choose which 8 hours you want to work. Group 2, you get to set your hours, but they must be working at certain times of the day. Maybe lunchtime is really busy, or at the college, when we have students on campus, it's the late mornings, like between 9 and 11 that we're really busy. Students like to go to work afterwards or whatever. You know, they have sports and work and everything else. So that might be our busy hours if you work at a college. But what if you're in group 3? The manager sets your schedule every week. You have no choice over it. So let's see what the results are for Dr. Wilson. In group 1, where you get total freedom, look at this. Women sell way more than men, 8,000 versus 7,000 on average. Does that mean that women are better salespeople? Maybe. Let's see what the other 2 groups say. Group 2, where you have some control over your schedule, women average 7,600. No, I'm sorry, men average 7,600 and women 7,400. Wow, the men slightly outdo the women. But look at group 3, where you have no control over your hours. You work when the boss tells you to work. Men, an average of 7,000, and women 6,200. So what have we learned here? Well, let's look at the main effects. First of all, remember this is called a multi-factor design. This is something we went over in the last video, factorial design. So, overall, is there a male-female difference? Not looking at the groups they're in, just their averages in general. 7,200 in sales for men, 7,200 for women. They're exactly equal. So there is no main effect for gender. But what about for what group you're in, the type of schedule that your boss gives you or lets you make your own schedule? If you have total freedom, regardless of male, female, if you have total freedom, the average sales are 7,500. If you have some freedom, 7,500. And if your boss tells you when you need to work, 6,600. Oh my goodness, that is the worst for sales, is having no freedom over your work schedule. So let's go here to main effects. Are there main effects? The answer is yes and no. There is a main effect for work schedule. Group 3 had the lowest sales, being totally told what their work schedule is, and there is no main effect for gender. 7,200 is the average. That's the same for males and females. But then the next question, is there an interaction? You will not need to draw a picture for the task. You will only need to understand the concept. So look at how I have males and females. The dotted line is the males. And what are we seeing from? Well, we are seeing that it goes up and down like that, right? That's the male pattern. Whereas the female pattern, they are highest when in sales, when they have total control over their schedule. And look at that, it almost drops straight down, doesn't it? Lowest when they have no control. So what do those results tell you? There is an interaction, yes. And the answer is the interaction, here's how you explain it. A 1-point answer is the lines cross each other. But a 2-point answer is, look at the picture. These factors interact with each other. Work schedule and gender interact with each other, basically because men need to be told what to do. Sorry, that was a joke. Was that offensive? Sorry. Another way to look at it is maybe women need freedom in their schedule because they're more responsible for childcare and other things like that. It sounds sexist, but unfortunately, there is some truth to that. Women maybe need more flexibility in their scheduling just for that reason. So, see, this does get kind of complicated, huh? If your exam has something like this, I'm not going to make you draw pictures and turn them into me, but will you understand them? Hopefully, and if not, just let me know. That's it for this one. Take care.